when we talk number, I was telling you about all of that content. That's, even if it's just an article that's sending people elsewhere. Realtor and Zillow, not talking bad about them at all by any means, but they have whole departments that all they do is create content for agents, and it's good content, because their goal is for you to post it to Facebook. Me, the consumer, I'm going to click on it. It's going to take me to Zillow. They're going to capture me as a lead, and maybe it's sell me back to you next month in a Zillow.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
sneaky. I knew they were up to something.
Yeah, you just now figured it out.
God.
So we derailed you, I think, a little bit.
We got through number one.
What you got next for us?
Okay, I got another one for you.
Pro tip 2. What do we have?
There's so many. Okay, I'm gonna piggyback on what I just said about creating self-branded content, because I want to piggyback off of that, because social media is great for, like I said, branding and top of mind, but it should be lead generating. Okay. And one of the best ways for you to start generating leads from social media is how an agent is posting their listings. But this is how most agents will post their listings. They'll get a new listing or a listing update, right? They'll put a bunch of beautiful photos on their Facebook page. Hey, everyone, brand new listing, 123 Main Street, gorgeous backyard, price to sell, call me. And then they put their phone number. So here's my joke. I always say, do not expect people to call you, okay? Especially millennials, they don't call anybody. Yeah. But the real issue is there's no lead capture with a post like that. There's no way for you to know that I'm looking, that I'm engaged, that I'm interested. And if I am interested and I want more information, there's no listing sheet. So I'll go to the portals. I've got Realtor and Zillow right here on my phone. Mm-hmm. Now you've lost me. Or what if I wasn't even interested in real estate until you piqued my interest? Man, I didn't think I can afford in that neighborhood. Maybe it is the right time for me to buy. My daughter's going to kindergarten next year. I really want to be in that school district. But, that's a 4-bedroom, and we really would only need a 3-bedroom. But I want to search more properties in that area. Mm-hmm. Can I search more properties from that Facebook post? No. So again, it drives consumers to the portals. And now you've lost me again.
Yeah.
So another pro tip when posting is making sure all your listings are done so as an optimized post, which is just a fancy way of saying that it's a link back to your website where there's a listing sheet, IDX search, all of that. So again, everything that happens on social media, you want to drive traffic back to you. Okay. So that's going to start increasing organic lead generation.
All right. I like it because, to take that a little bit further, to your point, you're then driving people to Zillow or Realtor.com, where, by the way, they're selling your borrower's information, your buyer's information to another agent.
That's right.
So the second you as the agent send them to a different place to get information, now their information actually got sold.
You've lost the customer, right?
Yeah, as a lead somewhere else.
And Bryan, just even piggybacking off of that, think about this. When we talk number, I was telling you about all of that content. That's, even if it's just an article that's sending people elsewhere. Realtor and Zillow, not talking bad about them at all by any means, but they have whole departments that all they do is create content for agents, and it's good content, because their goal is for you to post it to Facebook. Me, the consumer, I'm going to click on it. It's going to take me to Zillow. They're going to capture me as a lead, and maybe it's sell me back to you next month in a Zillow.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
sneaky. I knew they were up to something.
Yeah, you just now figured it out.
God.
Yeah, I just want agents to, again, have that gated experience to keep everybody under the umbrella of your business.
Yeah.
Right? That's just, get exposure. The key to marketing is you finding your audience finding you, get in front of as many people as possible, get the business you can from it, and then you utilize social media to increase repeat and referral business, stay in front of your sphere, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, cool.
Good
stuff.
So what's the magic number? How many friends should we all have? Right?
As many as possible. But gaining an audience that's another job in and of itself, right?
Correct. It's all daunting. It's, it's
and that's other things we talk about in my classes too. One of my sections in my social media class is how do I gain a following? How do I really start? How can I utilize ads or boosting, or how do I get in front of more people? And it's a lot. There's a lot. So no wonder why agents are overwhelmed. Yep. It's like, it's a full-time job.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely is. I think, one of the things that by the way, my social media game isn't necessarily strong. And part of that is because I think it's just a lot of work, right? So like you've got to constantly be active. And to Stephanie's point, you can't always be business. Right. I think even if I went through like my personal page right now, a lot of it is probably shares from our podcast, right? And I haven't put a whole lot of other stuff in between. So like if you looked at my timeline, I know it's probably like podcast, something about my kids.
Right.
Podcast. What's that?
You have a family?
I do have a family. Right. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. So, and I think part of it too is how, it can't be a sometimes thing. It's got to be an all the time thing, and it's, and in a lot of cases, it's got to be more than just once a day. And I just think that that's a lot of work, So, Stephanie, you had mentioned a while back in this conversation we've been having about content calendars. Mm-hmm. So is that something that you work up for your customers?
So what our system does is we actually create automation for agents. We actually put them on weekly blog articles. We follow their MLS ID. So anytime they do have a new listing sold, open house, price reduction, any status change, we post on their behalf market reports. We take care of creating all of that consistency with all that business side of things to free them up to focus more on the personal, because obviously there's no company in the world that can be you, right?
Yes, correct, yeah.
And so what we recommend in my classes are posting about 2 to 3 times per week. Okay. There's 4 things that you need to be posting, right? Of course, the business related information, the lifestyle articles. That 4th component is that personal, right? That being that community expert, that video, that photo. If you've got a system in place that's taking care of 3 out of the 4, right? That is going to allow you to not be so stressed, because people are consistently inconsistent. We all know that, right? Yep. So if you have the foundation in place, you have a great system and process. With our system, the blog is kind of the hub of an agent's business. Anything they want to put on a blog, we automate to all their social media to make that easy for them. So if they want to, do a video or, take a photo and talk about something going on in the neighborhood, all they have to do is click a button, put it on their blog. We'll send it out to all their social media automatically, so they're not having to go put this on Facebook, put this on LinkedIn, put this on Twitter. We're able to automate that.
So you have a system that hits all of those.
All of it. Yep. That's what our system does. Yeah.
And I'm assuming it's also scheduled. Like you can schedule it out for a week at a time, a month at a time.
Yeah. So if you're like, okay, we have writers that work for our company on behalf of our agents. We're going to create an article for you once a week. You decide what day that is. It's going to automate every Wednesday. Now, let's say that they want to do another one. They can go into our content library and choose one. Everything's branded to them. We have an algorithm. Yeah. But I would say anything that an agent, lender, in marketing in general, consistency is everything. So pick 2 days a week. One day I'm going to do something business. One day I'm going to do something personal. And then make sure you're putting market reports out. That can be automated, and maybe do a video once a month. You don't have to, it really doesn't have to be every day, because it's really more important that
that's the hard part when, because I've gone to many social media masterminds, and, they put that scare fear, like, I'm not going to say whose class or what it was, but some people suggest you post 4 times a day.
Sure.
At least Monday through Friday, where when somebody tells me I need to be, that's the game I've got to have.
Yeah.
That's a lot
That's
to take on.
overwhelming.
You're starting to think I've got to post at 9:30, again at lunch, again in the mid-afternoon, and early evening. It's just, that's a lot to to stay consistent.
Yeah, honestly, John, I just think you want to be consistent, not constant. I think 4 times a day is constant. And I don't think that that's, from my expertise, that is what's going to be the most valuable. And remember, Facebook algorithms are going to really value you based on your engagement. If you're posting 4 times a day and you're not posting quality content, you're not getting a lot of engagement, it's not even really helping.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also think that gets you into Facebook jail with some of your friends, potentially.
Yeah, they're like, I'm tired of everything I see from Bryan.
I see Lovell again.
Mortgages, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
consistent. You want to build top of mind. Listen, people are on Facebook 6 to 10 times a day, 13 to 20 minutes each visit.
what does these
Think
people?
about
What kind of jobs do these people have?
Real estate and mortgages. Come on.
What kind of job you got? You're on Facebook 20 minutes at a time, 6 times a day.
right? That's crazy. And listen, that number
That's
is
2
actually
hours.
I mean, the mid-afternoon, it's a fact that about 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon during the week, I mean, I think 3/4 of the workforce is scrolling Facebook.
Wow.
Everyone's on it.
That
But the
afternoon
good
drain.
thing is, even though that's like mind blowing, think about it. Think about the exposure you get. Social media allows us to have the most powerful marketing tools at our fingertips, and it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, you're right. It's free.
Right.
All right, so Stephanie, I got one more question. I'm gonna throw you a curveball, maybe.
Okay, I'm ready.
and then I want to open up, just let you share whatever. If there's anything you've wanted to share, what kind of share? So here's my question: how relative is Twitter in terms of it being used as a business tool or a lead generation tool? How relative is Twitter?
So a lot of times I get this question all the time. Twitter, it's for celebrities and drama and gossip and politics. And why do I need to be on Twitter? Are you kidding? Listen, the number one demographic on Twitter are millennials. According to NAR last year, 50% of every mortgage applied to was by a millennial.
Yeah,
We need to be in front of them.
Yep.
We need to be in front of them. The majority of millennials are not on Facebook like they are on Twitter.
Wow.
So think about the exposure for your first-time home buyers and right now, first-time home sellers. So the power of Twitter, I get goosebumps thinking about it. I get so passionate about it. I'm like, listen, you have such a powerful resource to connect with home buyers and sellers by being active and consistent. And then think about it as another highway of traffic and activity to your business. So real quick.
Go ahead. I didn't interrupt you.
Okay, I was gonna say, think about it. You put that market report, right? You don't think much about it. Market report, days on market, houses sold, average price, want to know what your home is worth, click here. You put a market report out consistently once a week on Twitter. Well, all right, I am 32 years old. I bought my home 5 years ago when I got married. This is hypothetical. I'm not 32 years old. I just have a Zoom filter, guys. But think about it. I just found out that Susie next door just sold her house for 20 over asking price, and I want to know what my home is worth. I'm on Twitter all day long as a 32-year-old, and I click to find out what my home is worth with you. It is a huge tool for lead generation. Huge.
So one of the things that you just made me think about was there's a character limit. I think it's either 120 or 150 characters.
280. 280.
Okay,
Yep.
So there's a character limit on Twitter that you don't have on other social media platforms.
Yep.
So to your point earlier, it's about driving traffic to your website, right? And Twitter, because of the little bit of character use that you have, almost everything would need to be driven back to your website for people to get the whole story.
Right. And this is Twitter's a great platform for the agent who has a lot to say and wants to be on it every day, because you can just do these quick little things, little sayings here and there. That's the only platform that I give the thumbs up if you want to be on it every day. I don't think it's too constant on Twitter. But again, for the things that are going to be lead generating for you, your listing updates, those market reports, your weekly articles, things like that. So I'm going to give you guys this quick example. Let's say that I'm an agent and I post an article on my Twitter, right? And it's just a quick little article of, child-proofing your homes this summer. Don't make these 3 big mistakes with your swimming pool, whatever. So I posted on my Twitter, and I'm connected to my yoga studio instructor. She's a mom. She's got hundreds of other moms that follow her from the yoga studio. Mm-hmm. She likes it, so she hits the retweet button, right? Very popular. Hit retweet. Now who sees it?
All of her friends. All of her peeps.
Then they like it. They retweet it. So you've got the potential to reach hundreds to potentially thousands of people with the click of a button. So the reach on Twitter is huge. The shareability. And again, links back to your website. And then if you want to just say a lot because you feel like it, great. But the most important thing is that you're on it.
Yeah.
Having a presence there.
So, John,
we need a Twitter account.
Do you even have a Twitter?
I do. But shamefully, I don't. I don't post or engage.
Yeah, Elon's not going to like you.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear something really funny real quick? Because I know we have to wrap up soon, but I was working with a couple brokers in the Villages.
Okay.
You guys are familiar, right?
Yes. So for those watching, It's a retirement community around Ocala.
Yep.
Yes. So huge retirement community, beautiful, it's amazing. We call it Senior Disney. Mm-hmm. So talking to the broker, they're like, we don't need to be on Twitter. Are you kidding me? We're a 55 and up community. What do we need to be connecting with those millennials on? Anyway, a few minutes later, his partner starts talking about his frustrations about how he's always dealing with all of his buyers' kids.
Yes.
And I looked at him and I said, they're millennial kids? He looks at me with big eyes. He's like, yep. I gotta be on Twitter.
The light bulb went off, right?
Nothing. Yeah.
Listen, Stephanie, you are crushing it.
How about the other social media platforms? I mean, what's the important? Instagram, TikTok. Where do we stand on some of the other platforms?
Okay,
I'm assuming you want to hit everything.
I'll be quick on this since I know I told you guys I could talk a lot. Okay, so a couple things. TikTok and Snapchat. I get asked a lot about these platforms because they're not the top platforms that I talk about for business, but they're video based, right? And people like them. If they like using them, I'm like, great, go for it. If you enjoy it, there's not any good lead capture or SEO built with these platforms. So I just kind of leave it as an option. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's not what's going to bring you the most business. Now, I will tell you, LinkedIn is huge. Agents, I say, have a LinkedIn, be just as active on that activity log as you are on your Facebook page. Do you guys, I'm assuming both of you guys have a LinkedIn, right?
Well, of course. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Of course. But most of us are not consistently posting on it, right? So,
this is true.
Right? So if I were to Google your names, it's going to be one of the first things that comes up.
Is LinkedIn,
whether you're active on it or not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? So I want agents to have their best foot forward. Also, it's the number one agent-to-agent referral platform on the internet.
Okay.
Number one.
That's a good tip. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'll tell you this quick story. I got a million of them, I promise. This is my last one. So, a friend of mine.
You're doing great.
Agent up in Massachusetts. I'm originally from Massachusetts, born and raised. Agent up in Massachusetts. She was an agent there for over 20 years, super successful, moved down to the Tampa Bay area about 2 years ago. Went from knowing everybody to knowing nobody. Well, when we had lunch, we got together and she was like crazy, doing great, like super busy. And I'm like, so what are you doing? What's the key here? She was connected to so many agents on LinkedIn up in New England. And where do people from New England move every day, guys?
They move here.
Just like you and I did.
To Florida.
That's right. So she connected with all these agents. Hey, everyone, if you know anybody looking for a house in the, Tampa St. Pete area, I'd love to connect with you. And she makes a joke. And if I know anybody moving from Florida back up north, I'll let you know. And we know that never
happens. Call them crazy.
Yeah.
She gets business from this all the time, from LinkedIn. So guys, especially in Florida, agents need to be connecting with agents up north.
Yeah,
that's huge.
A great tip.
Yep.
That's a great tip. All right. So like I said, you're crushing it. I love it. I can tell you're passionate about this. You could talk about this forever, and that's great.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you wish we would have asked you that you'd like for people to know?
I guess one thing is if you do not have a Google fingerprint right now, if you don't have any type of Google ads right now, do it. 100%. Google ads have exploded 950% the past couple years of people searching for real estate. Basically, Google ads work like this. Keywords are purchased on behalf of the agent, right? Homes for sale in XYZ, tips for selling my home in XYZ. Based on those keywords, ad campaigns are created on behalf of the agent. The consumer clicks on it. You put them through a series of squeeze pages to collect their information, and you have a lead. That's search-based marketing. Unlike Facebook, interruption-based marketing.
Okay.
Right? So Facebook, I do an ad on Facebook, and I'm, the consumer's on her phone looking at pictures of my kid's birthday party, and up pops an ad. So I might click on it, want to know what your home is worth. I might click, but I didn't ask for that. So the conversion rate on those kind of leads is very low. Google, very, very high conversion rate. So with agents, I'm like, listen, get some type of Google ads going. Lenders, go in on Google ads with an agent. Find an agent, tell them to call me. Let's get a lead license going for you where you're getting, 50 leads a month, and we can send it to the agent and the lender at the same time.
Nice.
So that would be my lead generation kind of tip. Be on social media, be active, be consistent, automate as much as you can. Do curbside lead generation in Fish Hawk. That's huge. People are walking their dogs all the time. They're noticing that, this street sign just popped up. Curbside lead generation is also something that can be really powerful, and invest in systems and processes. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, systems and processes. We probably talk about that more than anything, John.
Yeah, I mean, and then throw some hard numbers at us. If I was an agent and or a loan officer, what budget should I be prepared to get in the game?
On a Google ad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in marketing, social media in general.
Yeah, I would say on average, if I had to kind of pick like my quintessential, the perfect amount for an agent to really start making a splash, getting about 40 to 60 leads a month.
Yep.
Is kind of a good starting point.
Sure.
Again, automation, concierge services, obviously Elm Street, we have all of the above to follow up on leads for you while you're out doing other stuff that's important. So I don't know, anywhere between 400 a month and about 1,400 a month is a really, really solid way to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So it's nothing that has to totally break the bank. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Good questions, guys.
Well, dude, I don't know about you. I learned a lot.
We got to get a Twitter account, number one.
I have a Twitter account. I don't know when was the last time.
And then everything we post, we have to drive to our website. That's... I do a lot of sharing where it's driving.
Yeah, you're driving traffic somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
Shame on us.
Oh, guys, I know someone who knows someone, so just let me know. Whatever.
It sounds like we need to have some follow-up conversations.
I love it.
Listen, Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us. You brought the thunder. We really appreciate it. I'm going to make sure that if you want to get in contact with Stephanie and learn more about Elm Street, we'll have your contact information in the descriptions of the video. And obviously she's tagged here in probably all of these posts. But if you got more questions, you want to learn about what they're doing to help you agents with your marketing, this is the right place to go.
And or loan originators now.
Yeah. So, and there's also Elm Street has recently partnered with a company that'll do loan originator stuff too. We're going to have a representative from them here on the podcast soon. So looking forward to that. Stephanie's going to help us make a connection. Awesome. So I'll just end with this, hey, on behalf of Stephanie and John, I'm Bryan. And if there's anything that you need, please know, always here to serve.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey,
Thanks,
thank
Stephanie.
you.